Good evening, and thank you for joining us at the Select Board meeting of January 8th, 2024. And hope everybody had a nice holidays and a happy new year and a fresh start for everybody. That's our wish from our Select Board. When we first start, before we get into the agenda, I'll entertain a signing of the warrant.
Make a motion, we sign the warrant, Mr. Chairman, for December 18, 2023.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, and I'll make that unanimous. And we also have approval, a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting of December 18th, 2023.
I make a motion, we approve the regular meeting minutes for December 18, 2023.
And I would second that, Mr.
And
Chairman.
make that unanimous. Thank you for that as well. We do have a public hearing, two, as a matter of fact, in regards to the a petition from the Massachusetts Electric Company, doing business as National Grid and Verizon New England, Inc., to relocate one JO pole on Central Street at a point approximately 50 feet northwest of the center line of the intersection of Central Street and Archer Avenue. They will also seek permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires. We have Mr. Felix Aben, who's representing National Grid, who will be with us this evening and proceed with this hearing. This is a public hearing. Mr. Aben, welcome, and thank you for being available with us this evening. We just discussed your petition for the pole relocation on Central Street and Archer Ave. So you're on deck now. Mr. Aben?
You know what? I'm betting he called in twice. Let's see.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Aben?
Hello.
Hello. Very good. Hi.
Hi.
Good evening, and thank you for attending our meeting. Right now, you're on for the petition that you are going to be proposing regarding the Central Street and the Archer Rubber Avenue polo relocation. So if you can explain that to us.
The town of Milford is looking to move the bridge or to expand the bridge at this location. And the current pole location is going to interfere with the road expansion for the bridge. So they requested National Grid Electric to relocate this pole to a new location. And the reason why the petition for the pole relocation.
Okay. So that's going to, so so like I said, usually this is done also, too, for the purpose of providing the town an opportunity to review this proposal, to ensure that the relocation of the pole will not impact the infrastructure or the neighborhood. And you don't see anything of that happening when you're doing that, or once it's done?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Therefore, I'll first entertain a this is a public hearing. We would ask if anybody is on or if they're here to voice any questions or concerns they may have regarding this situation, and we do not. Okay. Then therefore, I'd ask my colleagues if they have any questions or concerns that they could ask you.
I do not.
You do not. Therefore, I'll entertain two motions. First would be to grant the a motion to approve the petition to relocate a JO pole on Central Street at a point approximately 50 feet northwest of the center line of the intersection of Central Street and Archer Rubber.
Make a motion that we approve the plan as submitted, number 307-91979, relocate the pole at Central Street at Archer Avenue, as proposed by Mass Electric.
Michael?
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I make that unanimous. I'll also entertain a motion to accept, to approve the petition to lay and maintain underground lateral cables and wires at that location.
Make a motion that we approve the plan as submitted by Mass Electric, numbered by them 308-33377, to do underground cabling at Front Street and Central Street.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay, what we have too, I think, Tom, you jumped to the second hearing on that point. This was
Yeah,
still...
you only need the motion to relocate the pole. Everything else would come in with it.
Okay.
So we could ignore the second.
All right, so we'll just only have one motion on that, because there was two petitions, that's why I thought there were two motions.
Yeah, no.
The other thing, too, sir, Mr. Aben, we'll also have a second public hearing regarding, again, Mass Electric doing business as National Grid and Verizon of New England to install a JO pole on Front Street at a point approximately 45 feet north of the center line of Central Street and Front Street. This is a highway department job. They will also seek permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires. Okay, Mr. Aben, can you explain us about this situation as well?
Yes, sir. With this job, the town was requesting us to remove overhead lines from the current location, and they were looking to go underground, which required us to install a new riser pole at the beginning of the street, and then we'll go underground from there to an existing path. And the reason why we're requesting a petition to install this new riser pole.
Okay, very good. And that was requested by our highway department?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Any board members have any questions or concerns regarding this petition?
I think it's related all to that, cul-de-sac.
The cul-de-sac in that area there, too, right on Front Street.
So
Yeah,
I'll redo that motion. I make a motion that we approve of the plan number 307-91979 as submitted by Mass Electric to take care of the pole and the underground wiring at Central and Front Street.
very good.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
I make that unanimous.
That was 308-33377.
Exactly. Mr. Rabin, very good. Thank you so much. We have no further questions or concerns for you. Thank you for your explanation on these two situations, and you have a good evening.
No one from the public on that last one, Chris?
You as well.
No, wasn't in the first one either. Thank you. Good evening now. Okay, schedule appointments, we don't have any in this packet. We do have our town administrator here. Ricky, do you have a town administrator's report for us?
Yes, just 3 items tonight. Fire Chief Mark Nelson has received a match grant of $11,050. This will supplement the award with emergency management and expense budget funds to purchase gas detection meters. Total expenditure is $17,638. It will fund 4 multi-gas meters for oxygen, hydrogen sulfide, lower explosive limits, and carbon monoxide, 4 single gas meters for hydrogen cyanide, and 2 calibration stations for meter maintenance. This FEMA grant has been utilized in the past. The new metering equipment will allow the department to perform air monitoring with the latest meters and to replace older equipment that is used on a daily basis. The second item is a stormwater grant. Highway Surveyor Scott Christofouli has received a Water Management Act grant in the amount of $48,000. This will be used for developing conceptual designs for 3 priority stormwater projects, and then to develop the most easily implemented project to 80% design status. It will also evaluate suitable sites for small-scale infiltrating rain gardens, similar to the ones that are at Town Park currently. It'll develop a model drought plan. He hopes to use Highway Department resources to construct the rain gardens. The final item is a memo or an item from the Metro West Regional Transit Authority. Mass DOT and the legislature have reauthorized the Tri-Transit Program for 2024. Metro West Regional Transit Authority fixed route and demand response riders will have fare-free options from January 1st through March 31st, 2024. Fixed route riders will need to have a registered MWRTA catch card to take advantage of this promotional program. These cards are free to all riders and can be picked up from any fixed route driver or at the central hub at 15 Blandon Avenue in Framingham. You must register your card to receive the promotion. If you need any further information, please call my office or use the town website at www.milfordma.gov for more information on this program. And that's all we have today.
Thank you. Any questions for Rick?
No, just to thank the fire chief and the highway surveyor for
surveyor.
going out and, seeking funds that
Exactly.
supplement and help out, and bringing sound equipment.
Especially with that stormwater grant.
Yeah.
Scott was here before talking, that could be very expensive and time-consuming as well. Anyway, very good. Thank you, Rick, for that.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is our, to hear from our police chief. No, I'm sorry, we got one before that. We have a request from the Department of Agricultural Resources, where the board is required to designate an animal control officer by February 1st, 2024. Keith Haynes has served as the animal control officer since November 2020, and I believe this has to be, this appointment has to be done by by state regulations every year. For the animal control, which is a very important position. It not only helps us out with keeping the animal control laws in check and whatnot, ensuring dogs are properly licensed. It also is helping out with patrolling stray dogs and loose animals, especially too where rabies is still around. And he is, so he more or less helps on a public health basis as well, to keep animals that could spread rabies and other diseases as well. So like I said, it's a very important position, I think, and it's more or less almost, no one really hears about what he does and whatnot, but it's very entailed. And it's important that we do reappoint, especially someone with the experience that he has. Therefore, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Keith Haynes as our animal control officer.
I make a motion that we designate Keith Haynes as our animal control officer with the Department of Agricultural Resources, Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I make that unanimous. Thank you. Next on the agenda, on the new business, is from our police chief, Robert Tizzino, who would be recommending to us slow children at play signs on Coolidge Road. That has come to our attention a couple of times by residents of that area as well, Chief, as you know. And like I said, it's a lot of children in the area, and there was a town meeting member who lives on that street who they were asking to speak to us, our office, as well as Chief Tizzino about it. So, Chief, can you give us an update on
Yeah,
that?
so as you said, Mr. Chairman, at the request of one of our residents, who happens to be a town meeting member, I received an email to check location up in that area. And it's very thickly settled. There are certainly a lot of families and a lot of children that have the potential to be in the road and around the roadway. And I think anything we can do to bring awareness is just a positive thing. So I think it's appropriate to have signage put in the area, and I'll work with the highway department once they get the signs built and to have them put up. It just brings awareness to children at play. Anything you can do to, like I said, you're driving and you see a sign, children at play, well, I think that kind of takes your foot off the accelerator, covers the brake, and just kind of puts you on notice. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because we're all guilty of just forgetting our surroundings. You know what I mean? There's no malicious intent, but anything we can do to kind of refresh that is a big thing. So I request that the board support this and we put some signs up in that area.
Very good. Tom, Mike?
I make a motion that we approve the recommendation of the police chief to place children at play signs on Coolidge Road as he and the highway surveyor dictate.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
I make it unanimous. And Chief, thank you for that. Thank you for going there and investigating that. It was very important to the residents in that area, too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Next on the agenda is also with our police chief, is an email that we received from our chief recommending that the select board approve and adding a parking opposite of a driveway entrance as a $25 fine to the current traffic rules and regulations. As you know, parking has become an issue, in this town, and I'm sure other towns as well. And of course, parking like that, especially on narrow streets, would more or less would ensure it hinders the accessibility, and also the safety of the private party that's trying to turn into their driveway or back out. It just obstructs their vision and whatnot. And it creates not only a safety hazard, but an inconvenience as well as a safety hazard. So we all read your email, and it makes a lot of sense. And if any of my board members have any questions or concerns for the chief,
No, I think he's right on.
Yeah.
It's been an issue for many years.
Right.
It's, people come home and they can't even make the turn to get in on their own driveway because people can park adjacent to the driveway. It becomes problematic at times. So it just gives a tool to the police officers to say to someone, you have to move the vehicle. Accommodate your neighbor. So.
And a lot of times we can mitigate it that way. You have to move your vehicle.
Right,
It's not
right.
about ticketing and towing.
you don't give them a
people.
fine right away, you give them...
Yeah, we're not
yeah.
that type of police department.
Exactly, I know
We never
that.
have been. But at least here, the rubber hits the road where, for lack of a better word, you're not talking out of your hat.
Right.
Well, because you go to some neighborhoods and you try to, explain to them, and they're like, well, am I illegally parked? Well, no.
No.
You're not illegally parked, but do you understand how they can't pull in their driveway or
Right,
back
right. It's
out?
more of consideration for
Right,
your
and I think
surroundings.
it's just
Right.
easier this way, and certainly on some streets, it's not going to be an issue. You have some bigger streets like Whitney that, I don't know who designed Whitney back in the day, but you can land two planes side by
Yeah,
side.
yeah, that's a wide street.
It's a wide street, so that's not going to be an issue, but you get into Oliver Street, Free Street, Lee Street, where one car parked opposite your driveway, you're not pulling in or out. It's that simple.
Right.
And, if I had a nickel for every resident that's called us or spoke to me and said, hey, can we do something about this? I just can't pull in out of my driveway, I can't back out.
Well,
This is a way of addressing it.
well, not only with this here, but with other times you come here, about, no parking within so many feet from an intersection and all that stuff. So little by little, we're trying to address the situations that are going on like this, too. So,
Make a
Tom?
motion that we approve adding parking opposite of a driveway/entrance as a violation of the traffic regulations with a $25 fine.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
I gladly make that unanimous. Chief, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
investigation and
As
your
always.
help regarding this.
You guys,
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks for your help with this.
Take care, see you.
We'll talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is invitation to speak. No one here, no one online? Okay, thank you for that. Correspondence, board members, any correspondence, anything up?
Thank you.
Michael?
I do not, Mr. Chairman.
And the next would be an executive session. So I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of meeting with our special counsel, Attorney Jerry Moody, who will update the Select Board on the case of the town of Milford versus Stone, where an open meeting may compromise the position of the town. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss with Attorney Gerald Moody, who represents the town, concerning the town of Milford versus Stone for an issue that may compromise the position of the town.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, and so a motion was made by Tom, second by Mike. Roll call?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion unanimous to approve enter executive session by roll call vote. Therefore, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the regular meeting, which we will not be coming back to our regular session as well.
Motion we adjourn the regular meeting, Mr. Chairman, of January the 8th, 2024.
Thank you.
I would second that, Mr.
I
Chairman.
make that unanimous. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in, and have a good evening.